Hello, it's another episode of Fact Cats, a pint-sized pub quiz for you. Get your pens and paper ready if you're playing competitively, since we'll be scoring sheets a little bit later. So today, as we've been doing, we're going to start off with 10 general knowledge questions and then move on to a specialty round. Today, that specialty round is going to be Linky Loo. That's our connections round, where you'll hear a series of general knowledge questions, but the answers are all linked in some way, and you'll need to identify that link in order to get full points. And then we'll have another round of general knowledge. Most questions will be worth 1 point each. If a question has multiple points possible, I will make that clear. And then we'll have one final question at the end, the final fat fact, and then that's going to be worth 10 points, just to keep things interesting to the end. And of course, if you're just testing yourself, you don't need to bother with any of that. You can play in any way you like as you're driving to work, in the shower, whatever you want, and you can cheat all you like to. Get ready for round one. Round one, general knowledge, question number 1. What element on the periodic table is abbreviated by the letters SN? Question number 1 again, what element on the periodic table is abbreviated by the letters SN? Question number 2, who was Henry VIII's fifth wife? Question number 2 again, who was the fifth wife of Henry VIII? Question number 3 now, as of today's date, and we are recording this June 2nd, 2023, how many times has the US won the FIFA Women's World Cup? Question number 3 again, as of today's date, that's June 2nd, 2023, how many times has the US won the FIFA Women's World Cup? Question number 4 now, in what decade was pop icon Madonna born? That question again, number 4, in what decade was pop icon Madonna born? Question number 5. This is a funny one because it actually taught me a real-world skill. So the question is, what are the 5 ingredients in the Waldorf Salad demanded by an irate American customer on a famous episode of British comedy Fawlty Towers? And you'll get 1 point for each correct ingredient that you list, and there were 5 of them. That question again, what are the 5 ingredients in the Waldorf salad that was demanded by an irate American on a famous episode of British comedy Fawlty Towers? And I have to say, this episode actually taught me how to make a Waldorf salad, and I've never forgotten it. Question number 6. The band Kiss in 1975 sang I Wanna Rock and Roll All Night. And then what did they want to do after that? Question number 6 again, the band Kiss in 1975 sang I Wanna Rock and Roll All Night. And then what comes after that? Question number 7 now, Leonard Joseph, Adolf, Julius, Milton, and Herbert were better known as who? Leonard Joseph, Adolf, Julius, Milton, and Herbert were better known as who? Question number 8. What inorganic molecule is created by lightning? Question number 8 again. What inorganic molecule is created by lightning? Moving on to question number 9 in round 1. In the Harry Potter universe, what does Draco Malfoy name his son? In the Harry Potter universe, what does Draco Malfoy name his son? And finally, question number 10, last question in this round, round 1. Who is or was the 3rd longest reigning English monarch? Who is or was the 3rd longest reigning English monarch? All right, that's round 1 down. You can keep on slapping yourself in the forehead for a little bit, though, because we're not going to score this round right away. Instead, we're going to move right on to round number 2, and we'll score round 1 in just a bit. It's Linky Loo. It's a connections round. People seem to like connections rounds. I know I do. So today it's 5 questions, and then all of the answers that you give to those questions, if they're correct, should have some kind of link, and you must identify that link for a 6 point. It can really help you too if you manage to identify that link early on. It can really help you get some of those questions that you might not be so sure of. Okay, get ready to play Linky Loo. Question number 1, round 2. What is a title or position that could, in a sense, be claimed by both Stan Musial and Thomas Wolsey? And I'm going to say, if you don't know who they are, you will have a tough time with this question, but that is the question. What is a title or position that could, in a sense, be claimed by both Stan Musial and Thomas Wolsey? Question number 2. What is the professional name of Sean Corey Carter? Question number 2 again. What is the professional name of Sean Corey Carter? Moving on to question number 3. What is the name of the noted 70s musician and poet who wrote the piece "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised"? Question number 3. What is the name of the noted 70s musician and poet who wrote the piece "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised"? Question number 4 now. This award-winning actor born in Chicago in 1951 was to appear as a guest in the Monty Python Live Mostly Stage show, but he had to cancel and then he died the next month. Who was that? That question again. This award-winning actor born in Chicago in 1951 was to appear as a guest in the Monty Python Live Mostly Stage show, but he had to cancel and then he died the next month. And question number 5, what was the name of the FBI protagonist in Silence of the Lambs? And we need her last name. You can get her first name if you want to, but we require the last name in order for you to get a point here. The question again, number 5, what was the name of the FBI protagonist in Silence of the Lambs? And we need her last name. And then, of course, question number 6, what is the connection between those answers that you just gave in this Linky Loo round? What is the connection? Did you spot it? Okay, so that's round 2 down. How are you doing with the quiz so far? Well, we're about to find out because we're going to score round 1 next. If you're playing with other folks, pub quiz style, just swap your papers around for scoring or do as Yoda would do or do not and just call on the power of the honor system. Question number 1, what element on the periodic table is abbreviated by the letters SN? That's tin. Tin is SN, and that's from the Latin stannum. And here's a fun fact for you. For reasons that are kind of mysterious even to myself, a few years back I read a book that it kind of forever fixed that root word into my brain, so I never forget SN now. I can't quite remember the title of the book. It was really long because it was an old book, and some old book titles can be like 5 sentences long. The gist of it was something like the laws of the stannary parliaments of Cornwall and Devon or something like that, and it was all about tin mining in southwest England and associated laws. So now I never forget the symbol tin because of that book. So maybe you know someone called Stan who reminds you of the Tin Man or something like that. Whatever device works for you. Question number 2, who was Henry VIII's 5th wife? That was the unfortunate Catherine Howard, who was one of the 2 wives he had executed. Question number 3, as of today's date, and we're recording this June 2nd, 2023, how many times has the US won the FIFA Women's World Cup? Well, they've won it 4 times. Question number 4, in what decade was pop icon Madonna born? She was born in the 50s, 1958. Question number 5, what are the 5 ingredients in the Waldorf salad demanded by an irate American customer on a famous episode of British comedy Fawlty Towers? And then you get 1 point for each correct ingredient that you can list. The ingredients are celery, apples, walnuts, grapes, and mayonnaise. Celery, apples, walnuts, grapes, mayonnaise. Except you have to say it in a really rude, abrasive American accent. Mayonnaise, like that. Question number 6. The band Kiss in 1975 sang, "I want to rock and roll all night." And then what did they want to do after that? They wanted to party every day. Question number 7. Leonard Joseph, Adolf, Julius, Milton, and Herbert were better known as who? Those were the Marx Brothers. Question number 8, what inorganic molecule is created by lightning? That's ozone or O3, either one would be fine. And question number 9, in the Harry Potter universe, what does Draco Malfoy name his son? In keeping with his family's star-oriented naming convention, he names him Scorpius. And then finally, question number 10, who is or was the 3rd longest reigning English monarch? That would be King George III. First was the late Queen Elizabeth II. She ruled the longest, and then Queen Victoria, and then George III. And there you go. That's your round 1 all scored. Hand your papers back if you swap them. We'll score round 2 in just a bit, not quite yet. But first, we're going to do round 3. All right, round number 3, general knowledge again. Question number 1, what sort of plant is linen made from? What sort of plant is linen made from? Question number 2, what 2 ingredients make up the drink known as a mimosa? Obviously, there are 2 points here you can get for this question. What 2 ingredients do you need to make up the drink known as a mimosa? Question number 3, vexillology is the study of what? Question number 3 again, vexillology is the study of what? Question number 4 now, what is the tallest grass in the world? Question number 4, what is the tallest grass in the world? Question number 5, what is Marge Simpson's maiden name? Question number 5 again, what is Marge Simpson's maiden name? Moving on to question number 6, round 3, question 6. What are the 3 colors on the flag of Estonia? What are the 3 colors on the flag of Estonia? And you must get all 3 in order to get a point here. Question number 7, Jack Dorsey founded what social network in March 2006? Jack Dorsey founded what social network in March 2006? Question number 8. What famous Indian river is sacred to Hindus? Question number 8 again for round 3. Question 8. What is the famous Indian river that is sacred to Hindus? Moving on to question number 9 now. Coverdale, Swaledale, and Wensleydale are all types of what? Coverdale, Swaledale, and Wensleydale are all types of what? And finally, question number 10, the final question in round 3. What is the first day of the fast period Lent known as? What is the first day of Lent known as? Well, that's round 3 down. That finishes up round 3. We'll score rounds 2 and 3 in just a moment, but first, take a little time to finish up and finalize your answers for rounds 2 and 3. We will be back in just about 1 minute. All right, your think time is up. Hopefully you've got everything in the positions you want them and you've got all the right answers because it is time to score rounds 2 and 3. Swap your papers around if you care to and get ready. Question number 1 in round 2, we're going to score. What is a title or position that could, in a sense, be claimed by both Stan Musial and Thomas Wolsey? Well, that is Cardinal, as in Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, and also St. Louis Cardinals baseball player Stan Musial. So Cardinal is the answer. Question number 2. What is the professional name of Sean Corey Carter? Now, that's Jay-Z. Question number 3. What is the name of the noted 70s musician and poet who wrote the piece "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised"? That's Gil Scott-Heron. Question number 4. This award-winning actor born in Chicago in 1951 was to appear as a guest in the Monty Python Live mostly stage show but had to cancel and then died the next month. Now, sadly, that was Robin Williams. He was set to appear in one of the sketches in the show. And finally, question number 5. What was the name of the FBI protagonist in Silence of the Lambs? And we needed her last name. Her name was Clarice Starling, so you had to get the Starling part in order to get 1 point. Now, can you see the connection? Even if you couldn't see it before, I bet you can now. And the connection, question number 6, is, well, they're all kinds of birds. We have cardinal, jay, heron, robin, and starling. So birds is the answer. Did you get it? Well, even if you didn't, there's still plenty of time to come back from behind because we're going to score round 3 now. So question number 1 for round 3 was, what sort of plant is linen made from? Linen is made from flax. Question number 2, the 2 ingredients that you need to make up a mimosa, the drink known as mimosa, that's orange juice and champagne. Apparently people make beer mimosas as well, and they mix beer and orange juice. I've never actually had, well, either one actually. I've never had a mimosa of any kind. Number 3, vexillology is the study of what? That is the study of flags. Question number 4 was, what is the tallest grass in the world? That's bamboo. Question number 5, what is Marge Simpson's maiden name? Well, she was Marge Bouvier before she went and married Homer Simpson. Question number 6, what are the 3 colors on the flag of Estonia? And you had to get all 3. That's blue, black, and white. Question number 7, Jack Dorsey founded what social network in March 2006? That was Twitter. Question number 8, what famous Indian river is sacred to Hindus? That's the Ganges. And the belief is that if you're cremated and deposited in that holy river, you can kind of bypass the reincarnation, rat race that we're all on, doing it all over and over again, and go straight to ascension. Question number 9, Coverdale, Swaledale, and Wensleydale are all types of what? Those are types of cheese. And like many, I have to credit Wallace and Gromit for even bringing Wensleydale to my attention. And then all those other dales started emerging. So you learn a lot from, the most surprising places. And finally, question number 10, what is the first day of the fast period Lent known as? That is Ash Wednesday. And the traditional practice involves drawing a cross of ash on the forehead of a worshiper, and that's meant to remind them of their mortality. So there we have it. That's everything scored, but we still have one more piece of business, and that's the final fat fact. That's the final question, and that is always worth 10 points. So it can kind of give you a big boost to your score, maybe if you happen to know it, or make you really mad if you don't. So the final question, the final fat fact, get ready for it. The question is, and at first it seems kind of basic. It might sound rather basic, and if you happen to be from this particular country, I bet you're going to get it with no trouble. But if you're not from here, well, it might be a little bit challenging. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Sounds easy and basic, right? But I bet there are a lot of folks scratching their heads right now saying, like, who was that? Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? That is the final fat fact question, and you have 10 seconds to get your answer down, starting now. And time is up. The answer, Sir John A. Macdonald. Well, the first Prime Minister of Canada, ending this edition of Fact Cat's Pub Quiz. If you got that right, go ahead and add 10 points to your score. If you played a perfect game today, you'd have 41 points right now. Thank you so much for playing. We're so grateful for every listen, every subscription, every click, every view, and every like. If you have any comments or suggestions, well, we always would love to hear them, so go ahead and maybe put them on our YouTube page. Make a comment under any of our videos there, and we do post these podcasts there as well, and there are video quizzes, etc. And those, by the way, are excellent practice for the full pub quiz. It's not uncommon for those little video quiz questions to wind up in a future pub quiz. Just saying. But please drop your comments and thoughts on YouTube, and I promise we'll see them. If there's something you want to see on the quiz, more of a certain kind of question, maybe less of a certain kind of question, I don't know. Whatever's on your mind, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for playing, and we'll see you next time.